Hey guys, Andy P back with a video. If you like my videos, please like, subscribe, do all the things that you need to do. I am sat on Morrison's car park. It's the 2nd of March and I'm struggling to get a job. Been really slow the feed this morning. It's starting to get a bit busy now. There's a few things just bombing through. I've just come to refuel and just sat here. I thought I'd make my monthly video. Just wanted to do a little bit of a shout out to all the guys on here that's bared all a little bit recently. You know, there's been a few people that talked about the journey, a few people that's talked about where they're at in their life. There's quite a few people that's talked about mental health and how this helps them, and how you know, how they've been and what they've gone through, and just a bit of a thumbs up really to you guys. You know what, as men we don't talk, we keep things in. So even though you're not talking directly to someone, just want to let you know we're listening, because we all watch each other's videos and we all share things, and we're all here, aren't we? We're all here, we're all listening. So just a well done to you guys, really. Just I think it's a brave thing to do. Put yourself on the line and in front of everyone like that. So well done. We've got a lovely community going, haven't we? Have you heard me? We've got a lovely community going. But I think we have. You know, I think there's pioneers out there like Big Beardy and Pete the Courier Driver who do the videos and help people out. But I think it's grown. And I've talked before about this little community. We have time on our hands, don't we, in between jobs? So why not just sit down, just make a video, just let other people watch it. I watch loads of different people just talking about their experiences and that, and it feels like it's developing a little bit, and we're talking about more than courier driving, and other stuff comes into it. It's like having listen, we're on our own in the vans all the time, so there's nothing wrong with reaching out and talking to your mates who know what you're doing. So listen, let's just keep it going. Let's just keep it going. Right, so February, ooh, bit of a roller coaster really. I was watching a few videos a couple of weeks ago. It's week commencing the 14th, and obviously that sticks in the mind because it's Valentine's Day, and everyone was just going on about how it's been a tough week, and I was no different. I was exactly the same. Now last week I bounced back, and last week I had a really good week. I beat my target. I made good money on the jobs that we're doing. I didn't work particularly tons of hours. I had one day when I was out virtually all day, from early in the morning to late in the evening. But the rest of the week, you know, I was getting jobs in. Everything was flowing for me. I got a couple of little nice ones. You know, it just all fell into place. And I think, you know, the guys that's been doing this for a while now, and I've not been doing it for ages, as you all know, but you've got to take the good times and you've got to grab it when you can, because the bad times will also happen. I mean, for example, look at me. So 2 weeks ago, week commenced the 14th, like all of you, I had an absolute shocking week. Awful week. Last week, really good. This week, again, it happens. It happens. Now my week might pick up. I might get an absolute peach of a job after this, and I'm back on track for the rest of the week. You know, that may happen, but you've got to take it when you can get it. And the one thing that I did last week was I could have, once I'd hit my target or I got where I needed to do, I could have gone, go on for the day, finish early, but I didn't. I stayed out and I did that extra little bit, and I didn't go crazy, but what it did is it paid back some of the money I didn't make the week before. You've got to do it. You've got to do it. Almost like seeing as I'm sat in Morrison's car park, almost a bit like retail. Listen, you go to a supermarket, it's busy all the time, but they have highs and lows. So when it comes to like Christmas time and Easter time, the busy times, they make the most of it. That's what you've got to do. That's what you've got to do. You've got to put your product out there. You've got to make sure you make your money while you can. That's the best advice I can give you. So yeah, February, yeah, it was okay. It was nothing special. But you know, we've talked before, January, February across all trades is really poor. And then with everything that's happened, good news is obviously COVID, all the restrictions have been lifted now in England, and it looks like they're starting to ease a little bit in like Scotland and Wales. So from that point of view, you know, it's positive, isn't it? It's positive, and hopefully it can grow now. I do think you do seem to see waves, good weeks and bad weeks. And you know what? This week of the 14th, I know I'm going on about it a little bit, but it was really interesting that everybody struggled. Every video, if you look back on the videos, everyone that week seemed to struggle. Interesting. It happens, doesn't it? See what happens. See what happens. So, what else is going on at the moment? So I did a few videos on invoicing, talked a bit about invoicing. Just to make this clear, you know, some people have put some comments on there around, you know, you can activate it on CX to say it's been paying and all that kind of stuff. I do all that. And that is the one thing that is so good about the CX. The invoices are made for you. All of the information's on there. You just need to print it off, post it, email it, do whatever you need to do with it. The bit that I was trying to get my head around was, like I said, once they pay you, they don't all put a reference on. So because they don't all put a reference on, you're not quite sure what payment it is, especially if you've done a few jobs for them. That was my point. So on the advice of a couple little bit of comments, what I've done is I've gone back and I've edited my invoice. So now when the invoice comes off and the message at the bottom, I had something along the lines of, you know, thanks for your custom and hope to work with you again soon, something like that. I've still got that on, but I've also added on there, please, when you're making payments, will you also include the invoice number? And hopefully that'll help. Just means that when it hits my account, I know who it is. It's sometimes just a little bit difficult just figuring out which payment it is. But yeah, I'm up to date. I've got everything's right. All December money's in now. So from that side, it's going well. I quite enjoy doing the invoicing. I've got my little office set up now, and I sit there over a weekend and just plough through everything and do what I need to do. Yeah, it's good. It's okay. It's all right. So the other one that I think's killing all of us, fuel prices. Fuel prices. Oh my God. So just to let you know, I'm at my local Morrison's. I do fill up here quite a bit because it's my local, you know, it's like the local petrol station, as it were. And I filled up on Monday morning. Van was virtually empty from last week. Left it over the weekend, came to fill up on Monday morning. Came to fill up, £1.51 for diesel. Brilliant. Fills up. Never thought any more of it. I've come back today, £1.52. So last week, I think it was £1.49, might have been £1.50. Then we've gone to £1.50 on Monday, and now we're at £1.51. It is really worrying, really worrying. I don't think it's going to change soon with everything that's going on with Russia and Ukraine. Which brings me into the thing around pricing. Now, when I was researching to become a courier driver, the one thing you were looking at is, right, how do I price jobs? How do I be competitive? How do I make sure I earn the money that I need to earn? And the amount of people that must search for how much do I charge. And I think I'm probably right in saying, if you look through all the videos that anyone has done on the Courier Exchange around pricing, you will probably find that no one gives you an exact price. And my thoughts are, there's a reason for that, which is, why would you? Why would you tell people what you are charging for jobs? Because at the end of the day, although we're all doing the same job and we've got our little community and we're doing what we love doing, we are all in competition. You know, if I put a price on a job and all the other guys that's putting videos on put a price on the same job, I still want to win that job out of you guys. I'm sorry, but I do, because that's why I've put a price on it. I need to make my money. But there's guidelines out there. There's guidelines for roughly what you should be charging for small van, large van, you know, long wheelbase, short wheelbase, all that kind of stuff, Lutons. You've got to find your own way with it. You've got to find your own price. Now, I'm not going to disclose what I charge, but what I will disclose to you is that I stick to my pricing. I do not falter from it. And what I mean by that is that when I'm working out my price, I'll work it based upon a small van. I will pick up work for either short wheelbase or a small van. Now, because I'm from Manchester area, there's a lot of small van jobs. I mean, a lot more than short wheelbase. So I have to pick up small van work. Otherwise, I'd just be sat at home most of the day, because I just, you know, you've got to pick up what you can get at the end of the day. And if I'm pricing a job for a small van, I will price it on my lowest price for a short wheelbase, but high end for a small van, and purely from a cost point of view. Because if I go lowering myself or lowering the price, it just ends up me not worth doing it at all. If I am doing a job which is less than what I would charge, for example, per mile, I've got a minimum price that I charge. And again, the reason for that is because if you don't, it's not worth doing it. It's not worth doing it. And to give you a bit of an example, I had a job last week that I did, and I think I got something. It ended up like £8 a mile I got, and it's because it was very, very small mileage. But obviously, I charged my minimum charge. So that's where you can make some really, really, really good profit. But the issue is because I'm in a short wheelbase, there will be people out there in a small van who will charge less, and they can charge less because we're in a small van. So it's just something to keep in mind. And this is why I think at the moment we're all struggling. There's definitely people out there that are lowering the prices, and they must be so desperate for work that they're not thinking it through. It's all right getting money in the bank. It's all right going, yeah, I'll do this job at this much, and you know, I'll do it at half of what somebody else will do for you. That's all very well and good, but when it comes to paying out your costs, your insurance and your fuel and everything, what's left? Excuse me. These guys have, you know, everyone's scrapping for work at the end of the day. I don't want to be too critical, but I think that's what's happening. So my advice to be to you guys would be is stick to your pricing. The only time I will go low, and anyone out there will give you exactly the same advice, is if you are desperate for a job in respect of, I need to get there, or I'm on my way home. So everyone, I think every video that you watch, if someone's going on about pricing and they're talking about fuel money, if you've made your money for the day, get your fuel money. That's the advice, and it's great advice. It's probably one of the best bits of advice you can get, because again, if you've made your money and you've got your profit, then all you want to do is get home. Why go home empty and eat into your profits? You may as well go a bit cheaper. So only time I will go cheap, only time. If I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere and a job comes up and I need to get home, or I need to get here, I need to get there, I'll go cheap. I'll go cheap, but I won't give it away. I'll still give it a competitive price, but I won't go, you know, it's just the right thing to do. It's the only occasion when I go cheaper. On the back of that, I work out my pricing, and then once I've worked out my pricing, I'll usually put a little bit on, just round it up to the nearest denominator, as it were. And that's how I price things. Now, other people have different ways of doing things, but I do think that everyone out there needs to have a strategy. They need to understand what they're charging. And the difference is, you know, if you're charging, I don't know, I'm just going to throw a price in there. Say, for example, you were charging 35 pence a mile, and no one would ever charge that. I'm just giving that as an example. Maybe you're the person that does 34p a mile. Makes you more competitive, but actually doesn't take a lot off your profit. Maybe that's the way to go. I don't know. You know, find your own way. Anyway, just talked a lot of bollocks that last 5 minutes and about pricing. Anyway, so yeah, round up, yeah, been a bit of a hard couple of months. I think we all expected it. COVID now, lockdown, obviously we're out of that. That seems to be easing off a bit, so hopefully things will start to pick up now. I know it feels like we've been saying that for the last few months, but realistically, you know, the country's been in a massive decline on it for the last couple of years, sorry, because no one's been able to do anything. We are getting work. I think you'd all agree we are getting work, but you've got to take the rough with the smooth. You've got to maximise your profits on them big days, and on your smaller days, just accept that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, you're going to have great weeks, you're going to have awful weeks. It's just the way it goes. Anyway, that's it for March. Just you know, a massive shout out to everyone that's continuing to do the videos. You know, I look forward to seeing them. I usually watch them on the same day they drop if I can. It's good to share. Like I said right at the start of the video, it's good to share. I think the information that we do with each other, I think it gets a lot off our chests as well, doesn't it? And you know, for me, well, especially today, it's certainly passed a bit of time. But yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep sharing. I'll keep watching your videos. I think most people will do. If you're new to it, you know, take all the advice you can get. Listen to what people are telling you. No one who does a video is telling anyone this is how you must do it. Not one person, and I certainly aren't. Our advice is always get all the information you possibly can, and then make up your own mind. Find your own way. All we can do is share experience, and if we share experience, we'll hopefully make it even better for all of us. Anyway guys, take care, and I will hopefully speak to you soon. Bye.